Okay, this is going to be today's video review for Friday, August the 14th, 2015 for Drum Energy Bands. Please read our trading disclaimer. Today our trader gets up and he looks at the market using a 6,000 tick and he draws some lines. Essentially we draw lines, if you're just joining us, from this white dotted line here. We would draw this as a crest of resistance. Just like this white dotted line hooks down, we would draw a crest of resistance from that point. As you can see, this white dotted line hooks up and we draw a valley of support. And so far, this valley of support has been tested with this down pink arrow here. And we've also come down into this energy band here that we would call a power mid setup, because the white dotted line here, this is our mid energy line, is energizing the lower energy band. So this becomes a very significant area of support for our trader to consider what could be a great setup for a buy. Before we get into looking at the trade chart on the right, I want to just spend a little more time here on the left chart, which is our focus frame. This is the 6,000 tick. So our trader is looking at this at the end of yesterday and made a decision to go home short. Not everybody trades short and holds overnight, but this trader decided to do so. Now, why would a trader do so? Well, if you look at our energy band, on the lower energy band here, our dots moving up here have been blue, meaning they're above the lower energy band. Then all of a sudden our dot fell back into the lower energy band, showing some weakness. This is on bar close. So at this point we're considering this upper yellow here as being down and looking at taking a short with a stop up above this point here, which is our upper energy band and where our dot hooks down. Now our trader sees the low energy of our lower dot, but also notice that our bricks went sideways here on our 6,000 ticks. So something is happening up here. Could be that this upper energy band here of the 15,000 tick is holding as resistance. It certainly was over here. So perhaps this is a retest for today. It's amazing how these energy bands hold to the tick. So our trader decides to use his trade chart and locates a short and proves to be quite good. But let's look at some setups for today using very specific criteria we call the weak dot push. So our trader gets up in the morning and he looks at this lower energy band, which has been printing now for, well, since midnight till about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and notices that here on our right chart the energy band in question is being drawn for him right through here. So he's really considering doing something with this support level, but wants to be very, very sure of how he's going to take advantage of it. So one of the things he looks at is he looks at the next chart frame lower. So if this was the 15,000 ticks lower energy band, this is going to be the 3,000 ticks lower energy band. And you can see how price seems to rally above it, but each time the top of the energy band of that 3,000 tick is holding as resistance. Then all of a sudden the energy band, let me draw it in here, is showing here is actually moving down to this point here. And it's at this point here that there's a difference. And the difference is you can see how price is below it. See, below this 3,000 ticks energy band, whereas now price is moving inside of this lower energy band. So it went from outside to inside. This is a very common topic that Charles Drummond has been talking about for years. And one of the ways that we take advantage of it is what we call the weak dot push. So let's look at this area here, because this area here is one of the trades that our trader absolutely loves to take, and it's called the weak dot push if you're just joining us. When our white dotted line hooks up, we have a valley of support, and you'll notice as price retraces back very close to this upper yellow. And the upper yellow has also got a thick white dotted line to it, and that's a strong mid. And the midline pushes down quite strongly at times. In this case, you can see our dots, the red dots here, staying above our white midline. And you'll notice as price comes down into the valley, the bricks go sideways. And our trader loves it when there's overlap. This lower energy band is overlapping the lower yellow. On the red brick, on the green brick close, our trader is long. And he takes advantage of the trade, knowing that this lower energy band is going to stay up. And he does stay in it, even as it pulls back here, because, even as it pulls back into it, the bricks go sideways. That means the lower yellow is up. And notice our dots staying above this white solid midline. So there's no wonder why our trader doesn't stay in and enjoy a little bit of profit until he starts to see another one of these weak dot pushes. This time end up into a crest. And you'll notice though that our trader is not interested in taking that because he just found out some very important information that this lower energy band is holding. He wants to be long, but he doesn't take any other setups after that. So that long was right from this left chart here with the green up arrow inside this lower energy band with the power mid. As price goes higher, you can see that this down pink arrow is pointing to this left chart's valley of support now turning into resistance. And if you turn your attention to the right chart, you'll see we have a crest of resistance with a weak dot push up into the crest. Our dots are staying below the white midline. Our trader sees price pull back, doesn't quite get into the lower yellow, but he notices it's getting into it here. Our trader also recognizes the overlap here. He loves this red bar here and takes a short. And the trade, of course, goes down. He manages the bounce in the upper yellow with the brick momentum, making upper yellow down. Takes the trade down to approximately the top of this lower energy band. He's tempted to take a buy right here at about 08, but he doesn't get a setup for it. He doesn't get the weak dot push into this valley of support. And our trader wants to be very, very specific, as he does every day. He's noticing as price goes up. Now, as price goes up, if we look at our left chart here, price is coming up to this thick white dotted midline. This is a potential point in which the energy could continue to push down and fight against the 3,000 tick. So the 15,000 ticks mid I'm drawing here on the right chart, and we'll look at the scenario here that our trader evaluates. He notes a crest of resistance. He also notes the dots as they move into and through this crest of resistance. He has a brick, and then he has another brick that goes sideways. So this is telling him that the energy that's moving into this crest of resistance is starting to get weak. And he notices his blue dots go sideways and hook down right here on this red bar. And this is for that midline. So he decides that's going to be enough for him. Even though he didn't get a weak dot push, this is what we actually call a strong push can't. In other words, it can't get through the crests. And he loves the fact that the overlap is taking place. He waits a little bit for an extra bar, and on this bar here decides to go short. And the trader manages it down through the thick white dotted line and exits down here into very close proximity, which is to this lower energy band. If you're interested and you want to know more, send an email to jb@drumenergybands.com. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend.